It's your boy AncientAlbatross, and welcome back for part 2 of the Osprey Vanguard job. And I'm gonna just pass it over to Andrew to take things away.
Alrighty, so when we left off, you guys had gotten your job and you were beginning to do some planning. This is a heist caper, a little bit reverse heist caper because you're gonna be leaving something behind, but all in all, it's a heist caper. So I am open to doing this a little differently than we do most games. So with that in mind, there are a lot of things you guys can be doing as far as like planning and prep. If you guys have an idea that you want to do, we will execute it at the time you want to do it, and we can go back to planning at any time. Okay. Once the caper starts, if you want to go back to planning, you're going to need to throw me a player intrusion. But that is a thing that happens in capers all the time. We get those flashback moments. And so it's a perfect opportunity to use those player intrusions. And this is a great way. The break actually gave us a great way to segue between the first part and the second part. So with that in mind, I know you guys wanted to do something with the code box. You guys wanted to go scout out and see people and try to find a weak person who might not want to be part of the company anymore, who might give you a way in. Where do you guys want to start? We've got, just to kind of sum up the things that we know so far. When you go to break into the building, you are actually going to Tower 3 towards the top. At the very top of Tower 3 is the dirigible landing dock, where they can unload cargo for the research facility into the research wing of the building. Those come in on company blimps. You have just a couple of floors underneath where your floor is. You have a docking bay where a lot of the executive parking and operational parking and cargo, local cargo comes in or goes out. And those come in aerobuses, not largely dissimilar from the Aerobus that Bear currently pilots. The coloring is wrong. What does the Purple Rain look like these days?
Oh, the Purple Rain is immaculate. It's actually, it's like a two-tone purple. It goes from the top of it is like a dark purple, and it cascades down like it looks like a like the old 80s graffiti raindrops. Comes down to the bottom, and the bottom of the Purple Rain is like an illuminated like red and yellow lights that rotate around like in a circle, and inside the Purple Rain looks like a 1970s shag van. It has like like the carpet and like disco lights, and it's Connor's fascinated with classical music. So that's 1980s pop music. So there's always music being played inside the Purple Rain. It's also armored, and it even though it doesn't look it, it's actually well armored and it's well protected. There's also a lot of computer systems in there that I utilize. Like I have a navigation dashboard that appears up. So right now, when they go into the Purple Rain, the actual schematic of the building is hovering in the center of all of us, so we could see.
Okay. So
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Does the Purple Rain have a stealth mode?
I don't know. Does it have a stealth mode?
It probably might.
I
tell you what.
Oh, I was gonna say, could I give a a player intrusion to say, I don't know how often we've adventured together or done our thing together. Can we say it's long-standing ish? And I would have in my downtime installed stealth systems because that's my whole shtick. I want when we travel, I want us to be, on a low down.
You guys might know each other well enough to have done that. I would be willing to make that assumption on a player intrusion.
All right, so if that's cool with you, Bear, we say at
Yeah.
some point I snuck in there and I did it, and you found it or something, and you were cool with it because it didn't,
Or
it
you
didn't
guys
damage it in any
Maybe
way.
you guys got like to talking about it one night and chatting it up, and
That works.
then you and your brother went and installed it because he's the one with the tech skills.
That
Well,
works.
it also has a bay for my motorcycle because I also have a hover bike that's inside.
Okay, so here's the thought process. I think you should fly in stealth. We can, the three of us can dive out in wingsuits. That way we don't have to worry about passcodes for you to dock. And then when we leave, we'll dive off the building in the wingsuits and you can pick us up.
So then I'm gonna spend the entire adventure waiting in the car.
Oh, no. Andrew's gonna make you use it. Trust me, it's not gonna go smoothly like we're thinking. Never. Do you know where you
I'm not for that plan. I'll tell you right now.
So we're gonna split the party. I like this.
Or actually, you know what? You should have an autopilot, right? We can all go in. You got an autopilot.
He does have an autopilot. He
But,
has it has an AI co-pilot.
outside the game, right? He said this is like a mini city, so there's a lot of omnibuses pulling up in here. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary for us to park. I mean, for us to actually pull into this building because there's more than it's like a mini city.
Right.
Yeah.
For the main
area-
arrow. Oh, go ahead.
The area that you're pulling into would be more like the elite parking. But your car is campy enough that it might not actually, because you said it's immaculate. And
Yeah.
since you said that going in, I would be willing to say that it actually looks like it is, it was like professionally painted and looks like the kind of party thing that you might find rented by somebody who's got more money than sense for an excursion. So if you had the right passcodes, you could dock without making too many waves, because it's not just a cargo bay. It is a bay for limos come in and out of here, sports vehicles come in and out of here. It's just high up on the building because it's above where the commoner people and the lowlifes or the
also
corporate
too-
drudgers would be parking and living.
Also, too, with the the stealth mode that they installed, right? And this is what I do for a living. I'm a getaway driver for illegal activities. So I would assume that my stealth mode would actually change my bus to look like other buses. And
Sure.
when I go to a job, if it's a certain corporation, I can make my bus look like that corporation's car.
Absolutely. And this would be really easy because it used to carry the right logos.
Sweet. So I guess that's what we're
I
gonna
would
do.
prefer not to sit out the entire adventure waiting for people.
Oh, no, I wasn't trying to put you out the entire adventure. Never that.
So if we need some kind of cover,
Mike, you're muted.
Mike, you're muted.
Sorry, I had kids back here. So we're going to go in through the top. We know that we'll have to find the best route down. I'll find some way of getting past security or getting somebody to turn the other way for us to get to a certain location. and we should be in and out lickety split, right?
That's the plan.
All right.
So
Can
even
I just not be one of the guys jumping out of the airplane? That's not.
why don't you? Well, I mean, if you want to go, if you want to dock with him, but I know me and my brother.
Whoa. We don't know each other that well.
Oh my God. Let me interject. Oh my God. I can't. Anyways, what you call it? Viper would definitely, and he's still eating, probably on his 4th steak now, because he's not gonna pass up real cow. Definitely not. But in this time, he would, in his onboard, computer systems or whatever, if I'm assuming he can browse the internet in some capacity, he would be looking up as many details about this old style vault, if we know what kind of specific vault it is, so I know more about the mechanical aspect of it going into this.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think that would probably be the best way. We'll drop in from the top. I guess you guys can, go to the docking bay, a couple of levels down, and I guess that might be the best way to do it if we just can navigate through the building down to the docking bays before anything happens, hopefully.
Didn't he say that this building was we would know from the schematics that this building is highly guarded. So wouldn't they be able to detect your guys if you were like flying in?
Not if we use stealth suits and come in through the top where, we use stealth suits, come in through the top. We're small blips. We're not really, I don't think they have things, I don't think they'd be looking for body size people to fly in, or body size objects. I mean, but we can check the security, I want to go over all the security protocols and see if that's a viable plan.
So as you kind of go over your security protocols, there are a number of cannon emplacements, and they seem to be individually manned in addition to AI controlled. And so stealth suit might get you past one or the other, but it might not. And the kind of cannons we're talking about, you wouldn't even probably hit the ground in anything less than a rain. Yeah, in anything less than a rainfall.
Quick question.
So, like the way I would picture it in game is we have this big schematic, and like I'll wave my hand and I'll be like, "There's a cannon here. There's a cannon here."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
"Are you sure this is a plan we want to do?" And then like I'll touch it. It'll zoom into a bigger picture. It'll show like
and you can see
his nose sitting.
Yeah, you guys may notice that so I commissioned this piece very last minute. I knew what I wanted it to look like. Michael McNeil did a fantastic job churning this out really, really fast for me.
They were in the chat. They good stuff. If he's still here.
Yeah, he might be. There is a blimp in the image to give you scale. But you could actually then like take it and like zoom in on anything in there. You'll just have to use your imagination as to what it looks like when you get closer. But I was like, hey Michael, I need concept art for this building because I'm gonna be doing this a lot sooner than I thought I would be, and I could draw it, but my hand skills are not that good. Nobody wanted to see that.
No, this came out great, but I have a quick
question. The dirigible for scale.
Yeah.
What you call it? That docking area we're going in, when I guess you said more affluent people might use this docking area as well. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What would or I guess is this within our notes? What kind of people would be going there and why? Like, are there like upscale restaurants, or is it just like upscale researchers, or like the high top end researchers there?
So most of that particular tower is research, but a lot of it is also high end homes, and it's not far off from a couple of really kind of high end restaurants and other key destinations that are not for the plebes. So, you know, not for the street types. It is as far away from where the street types are as it can possibly be. So yeah, there could be, you know, you could definitely be going there and going to a club.
All right, so this
Chances
is my,
are, though, if
oh,
you're going to said club, you also live there.
Gotcha.
So-
My take would be we go in under the guise that I'm an up and coming sim streamer who's about just hit it big, is trying to spend his money, and yeah, we're trying to visit one of these clubs or a potential home to buy or something like that. I don't know if any of these units would be for sale or anything like that, but under the guise that we're you know I got my crew with me, and we're just checking it out because I potentially either want to live there or go to the club or whatever.
So in that
I'll
case,
dress up like a chauffeur then.
in that case, what you would
I could
need
be
to
a real estate agent.
I was going to say what you would need to do at that point is Spencer would probably need to be your agent, and you should be auditioning for corporate entertainment.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Because in the arcology, food is corporate provided, entertainment is corporate provided, clubs are corporate provided. Most of the stuff, it's all corporate approved, if nothing else. So
Oh, yeah.
you could be, you know, it all sends a singular message. So while you may be a rebel icon, you're going to be their rebel icon. And, you know, they're going to cultivate you to be, you will not rage against their machine. You can rage against anybody else's machine, but you will not rage against their machine.
So
I
then
dig that concept.
we will make the Purple Rain look like whatever the equivalent of a modern limousine style hover, and I would go dressed as a chauffeur.
So Spence will have to set you up with an interview that you can't possibly bomb.
Yeah, can Spence? Can you get me in the door? Said, see if that'll get us in the door.
Hey, you're talking to me. You went in, you're in.
Perfect.
You're my chum. You're in.
You know, Spence, it's good to see the old shades of the guy. You know, you've been holding on to that Evelyn Soul garbage for a long time. Good to see you feeling like your old self.
Well, they say vengeance is a dish served cold. We're gonna have to figure out how to cut the pie on that bitch, but we'll worry about that later. Let's get the product and get the hell out of here.
All right,
I got an idea for that.
So this is what I can do, and it will take me probably a couple days to do it. So what I like to do is I have a lot of things that I can do, but it takes me time. So what I have to go in, and what I like to do is go in through the general population down towards the bottom, and use some things like what do I have here? Gather information. And so I like to go out and gather as much information I can about the building, you know, where corporate security is, like the first day, and try and build up this thing. I'm also trying to figure out who is the main crime guy, because this is on the floor level. And so what I'm trying to do is trying to find a guy that might be
an underworld boss.
Well, I probably know who but I want a guy that owes the underworld boss money, or buys drugs from him, or gets joy, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, Joy Club or whatever they call the prostitutes of the time, or whatever the guy. There's got to be something. Some guy's got some dirt, and I want to try to find a guy that I can get dirt on that works in security. That's my whole kind of thing.
All right, so let's go ahead and do that as a vignette.
Okay.
And so we'll start with your role.
All righty.
So give me it'll be an intellect roll.
All right. Is this like with the gathering information?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I am, since I can do this and this has to do with people, I am going to also use my pheromone implant. So however many charges that will take, just let me know.
We'll just use one for the moment. So
Okay.
just make one roll
Okay.
because it's one activity. I'm not going to make you do it more than once.
All right. So first I'll do that roll. It is a 1.
Did you just burn it out already?
Deplete 1 in 20. Yeah, I'm on fire. All right.
Oh, the good news is it still works.
Yeah.
You still
Yeah,
get
at
the
least I
bonus.
got one shot. Yeah.
You got one use out of it.
Yeah, I got one use out of it.
Oh,
And then
man.
here's yeah, that's me. It happens. All right. My next roll. This is the and a 20 back to from a 1 to a 20.
Well, that's the way to do it. All right.
right.
So, what do you have that lowers the difficulty?
Well, I am
You lowered the difficulty with the pheromones, which is what,
with the
one
pheromone,
step.
it's a 1. I am trained in all sorts of things. So I'm trained if I needed pleasant social interactions, I'm trained in that. Deception, trained in that. What else do I got? I have a lot of stuff.
You've got enough there. I'm gonna let you use 2 of them.
Okay.
So if you want to use like deception and pleasant social interactions, I'm good with that.
Okay.
So that's 3 steps.
Yep. And that's all I need right now.
Did you want to put any effort into this?
No.
Okay. So that is effectively 29. So that's that would be a difficulty 9. So I was doing this one sort of backwards. Rather than giving you a specific difficulty, I wanted to see how well you did.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do this one a little bit backwards. So difficulty 9, it's almost the best you could possibly have pulled off.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you get a special benefit out of it. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and award everybody an experience point.
Woohoo! I didn't have this.
Because we're going to get a couple of things, including a discovery. So, first thing that you learn is that there are a couple of guys who work a lot of times in the security end of the research. One of them has a severe gambling problem. And he has racked up a pretty sizable debt. So he's definitely got a weak spot. His partner doesn't really give a crap about the company. Both are probably pretty close to being terminated. And even they know it. They're given the graveyard shift. Middle of the night when things are kind of at their least active up there. And they are on duty 2 nights from now on the hangar bay level. They're not at the hangar bay itself, but they're on the hangar bay level.
Can I spend an XP for a player intrusion to say in 2 nights there's a party,
Sure.
a corporate elite party, and I'll acquire invitations for us all to be there?
You can say that there's a party, and I will be willing to let you attempt to acquire.
I'll make a
Tickets
hacker
to it.
roll. Yeah,
Okay.
let me take that XP off, and hacker roll comes up.
All right, this will be a
And-
difficulty. We're going to call this a difficulty 4.
Well, and I do have skill in hacking,
Okay.
you know, so and I will also spend another level of effort on that. Brings my pool down to 15. All right, so 2, and here we go. Where's the 20-sider? I'm not using that thing. 12 on a die.
Okay. So on the die, you've got how many tickets did you need?
I got one for everybody.
Okay, so you go ahead and install your identities into the server as being basically you install your biometrics as being invited to this party, or your fake biometrics if you've got.
Yeah, we'll all put. I don't know how I'm gonna do an alias for my celebrity brother, but
No, I don't need one. Remember, like I'm there to just schmooze and get in. I mean, I don't know if the interview already happened, if it's if we're gonna play that out, but
we're gonna do the interview here shortly.
Hopefully, I will be invited to be there.
right.
You know
there
what
we
I
go.
mean?
We'll play it that way. I'll I'm definitely gonna be under the radar, and I don't think Spence wants to be, who he is either. Unless everybody tell me how they want their identities to show up, basically.
I was planning to be the help, like the driver, so.
So yeah, you're there. You're
I'm the
there under
one.
I could just
you're-
be like a business agent.
you're there under the pretense of being a driver. You know they always got a place for all the help and drivers and stuff. So you're under there as under that pretense. I'm just a guest, and I'm basically going to be watching my brother's back, making sure he stays out of trouble.
So let's roll back to Mike and his role here for just a hot second. Given this news, since we're still dealing with your not yet discovered discovery and everything else, you do manage to secure an interview for the hot young up and coming sim star,
My chum.
action star, your chum, Viper Sims. You've got an opportunity for him to get some corporate sponsorship, to do some parkour games and basically maybe some surreal sim films there for the corporation. But he's going to have to pass an interview.
Osprey is the best. Whatever they sell.
They're a financial institution.
They hold the best money.
They do. Osprey International. They hold the best money. Only the best money. So you've got that arranged, but you also meet a guy in one of these seedy bars while you were asking around about the underworld and trying to figure out who was involved where. You kind of come across this really sad old man. He's drunk deep in his cups, and he's like, "Hey man, I helped build this place. Nobody cares, but I know a bunch of its secrets."
Oh, really? I happen to be interested in people that know secrets.
So he is able to tell you 3 important facts about the building. One, and this is there are service elevators in a number of areas that are like backstage. A lot of this place, especially if you're up in the 18th, if you're up on the 18th, it's like an amusement park. You know, the mall and all that stuff. Everybody there, they're on freaking stage, man. On stage. But backstage shit moves. Things happen. And there are elevators, and there's just crazy things, man. Crazy things, man. When we were building this place, you can get their express elevators up in those little towers. You can get from the research areas like down fast. You know, if
Oh, here. I handle my handkerchief. Keep it.
If you know there were emergencies, there are fast ways down, man, and you can use them to get like to the hangars. And if you're like really like super elite, you could probably take them all the way down. But you know, I don't think they've ever actually used them. But I don't know that I would do it, because here's the important thing. Number two, can I get another round?
It's on me.
Thanks, man. So number 2,
We're chums, man.
these guys are freaking assholes.
Well, you know, they're a bunch of corpses. What do you expect?
That's just it, man. They're not afraid of corpses. Like, seriously, there's more C4 in the central structure of this thing. They're willing to bring crap down on the people who live below to keep things on those top floors secret. They would blow the whole thing and just pick whatever they needed out of the rubble.
Are we there for this, or is it just you there, Mike?
I'll tell you all about it, but yeah.
That's freaking nuts.
And that was your discovery. And then he's like, and then number 3, the third thing, and this is the most important. Did I tell you that they were jerks?
Yeah, they're a bunch of corporate assholes, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Down with the corpse.
There was a third thing, but I can't remember what it was. Just live with the 2. Just live with the 2.
No. Wait, man. This third thing sounded pretty darn important. Maybe I can help you a little bit. Maybe have you ever had like a doers? Hey, a doers for this guy.
So you chat with him for a while longer. He never really comes up with a number 2, with a number 3.
Oh,
He like
man.
treads around. Mostly that number 3 was just for a laugh.
Yeah.
He clearly he's out of his mind.
So what was your name?
Chalk. My name is Chalk Finley.
Chalk.
Chunk. Chuck. Like Charles.
Yep, got it. Thanks, Chuck. Well, you enjoy yourself. Hey, you had something to eat? You ate in a while?
Yeah. But I can no.
Here, I tell you what, dude. I tell you what. I throw down like I give him like 1,000 script, the national script, say, look, you get the hell away from this place.
I will, man. I will. He puts it away, looks over his shoulder like somebody's going to jump him for it, and like staggers out into the street, which is, of course, a relative term, but it really does feel like a street when you're down here. He really just staggers like out into a hall, but particularly at this level, he's not wrong. It's like an amusement park. It's like when you go to Disney World and they set everything up to look like a place. You know, it's not really that place, but it looks like that place. That's what you get inside the arcology. You know, they're halls, they're inside, but it looks an awful lot like a really clean, you know, almost Star Trek-y sort of city in the main thoroughfares, but in places where they have clearly like zoned it for slums, it gets looking really sketchy, but you never feel like it's really sketchy. Those of you guys who have lived on the actual street can tell the difference. You're pretty certain that some of the thugs on the street are costume performers, creating this illusion for everybody, not just, you know, and maybe some of them actually are poor, because I mean, you ran into Chuck, and Chuck's clearly, you know, on the wrong end of the bottle, but a lot of it is very, very cultivated, very precise, totally eerie and unnatural.
So
This takes me a couple days, and then so this is me just trying to get involved, get down to the streets, and I come back and let these guys know all the things that I saw and let them figure out a plan from that. It's like, I think we're there, and I don't think anybody has to jump out of any planes.
can we extrapolate where the elevators are? from the
Oh,
information?
that's a beautiful segue. I don't think anybody has to jump out of any planes. Cut to a plane. And we cut to the back end of the plane where the door is now just slid open. And there's a guy checking Viper's harness. All right, we want to see what you can get in the way of footage. Go! And they like shove Viper out of the plane. And we cut to this scene of him like, you know, sailing down, and then
Hey, you signed that release form, right?
I reply in the comments.
he's basically doing the thing that we were suggesting earlier with like the
Wingsuit.
wingsuit.
the wingsuit. Thank you, Dean. The wingsuit. So he like comes in and he's flying and banking around parts of the city. And then
Can we say
you know,
can we say that they loaded like lengths with you know, fireworks in it for him to zip around as he flies in?
yeah,
for the party?
absolutely. There's like
dollar signs,
And you're,
Ospreys.
and you're dodging these explosions.
OS dollar sign. It was like, if it's like text like fireworks, OS dollar sign.
So they film a commercial. And they run it for a test audience. Basically, it's just like your crazy commercial where you like jump out of a plane, you go running up the side of a building, you know, and there's an announcer going, "You don't have to go through all this to get the best deal on a mortgage." Osprey Vanguard, your banker of choice.
That's amazing.
So, Al, why don't you go ahead and give me a performance roll? You can do that under speed, under might, under intellect. I don't care what you do. But just go ahead and give me a roll and kind of tell me something spectacular in your show that I didn't cover in the brief announcement.
So
Just
what
give me
happens?
your spotlight moment
Yeah, I got
from
you.
the commercial.
What I do here is this is incredibly risky. Oh no, I can't use leverage risk for games of chance. But either way, like you said, I'm paragliding or with the wingsuit, letting off explosions as I go, like little fireworks. I press a button on my wrist or something, or my like control comm on my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Two fireworks go off, and I get to the Osprey building. I'm running all the way up it, and here's where it gets what is it? Showtimey moment, right? And it says, remember you said it's a commercial, right? And this is where the voice actor or voiceover was saying, you don't have to go through all this to get a good deal. And it's me dodging as I run up the building. It looks like I maybe bags or rocks maybe from the top of the building. It looks like, I don't know, someone's just literally pushing just giant things off the building just for show.
They're like throwing bags of money at you.
There you go. And I'm dodging it, running up the side of the building. And I do. That's the showcase mode. I get near the top. I catch one. I get to the top, and I look at the camera and say, "You can save this much money." And I like, but it's a rather sizable bag, so it's pretty risky that I actually caught it and got all the way to the top. But either way, I'm gonna use my running and. Am I specialized in any of these things? No, just trained in all of them. So, running and jumping, if you'll allow that.
I will.
And yeah, I'm gonna roll for it. I'm gonna use 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use it speed. I have 2
Okay.
edge in that, so 5 minus 2 would be 3 total.
And like the other check, we're going to do this to see it on an ascending scale rather than against a static target number.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna roll my d20 now, but yeah, 2 levels of effort and 2 skills, and I got a 12 on the dice, so 12 plus 12. Yeah, so 24.
Solid. So with a 24, you land a second interview and tickets to the party.
Hey, we're in, boys. I say in the comments.
So your second interview will be in a month. But they're gonna basically they go print, and they take the footage and the feed from your sim system, and they basically run it over to post, and in a month they'll have the commercial made and run before a test audience to see how it does, at which point they're going to pull you up for an interview. But in the meantime, we've got this great party going on, and we'd like you to meet and and introduce yourself to the higher ups.
Hey, you have to ask for something ridiculous so they won't think it's real.
If I hear that in the comms, if let's say, because we're doing sort of montagey type thing, I'm like signing or talking about the deal for the next interview or whatever have you, and I say, but at this party, you got to be certain there's a chocolate fountain or I walk.
I think we can arrange a chocolate fountain.
All right, perfect.
Perfect, man. Way to sell it.
But yeah, I definitely would come back after all that, and I say, guys, we're in. They already know I'm going to be part of the party. I'm officially invited. Don't worry about fabricating anything for me. Sawyer, we're in the door.
As usual, proud of you, little brother. Or should I say big brother that acts like my little brother.
That's how we do.
How we do. Okay. So now we've got weak spot in the security. You've got invitations to a party on the night of, which actually includes it would actually include some docking permissions. So you've got,
So my quick question is, can we can we extrapolate where these elevators are now that we've been given this information? Can I figure that out?
Sure. You look at the diagrams.
Yeah.
Your
you want me to
maps
make
again?
you want me to make a computer roll?
Yep. Go ahead and give me a computer roll. This is going to be difficulty 6.
All right. Then okay.
And tell me if you make difficulty 8 too.
All right, you know what I'm gonna do then? I'm gonna bust out 2 levels of effort on this, plus the level of effort from my computers, or should I say my asset from computers. I'm specialized, so I have 2, so that's 4, so that's 12 points right there.
Okay.
And we'll see what I get on the die. 20.
Nat 20. All right. So with Nat 20 and the effort that you spent, not only can you find what appears to be a gap in the schematics that would account for an elevator, you can see where the explosives are probably set. And the old man was right. There are enough explosives, and each one is keyed to each individual floor in such a way that they could blow quite a bit of the building, and bring it down in such a way that if they blew it before you got into the safe itself would keep everything safe and intact. You do know that from the safe, and it looks like the device comes in such a solid, from the case you've been given, it comes in a case that's solid enough that it would probably survive the attack as well, even if you had it out. But you can also see from this that pretty much no matter how they blow this building, there are going to be a lot of dead civilians. They don't mind killing their own people to keep you from getting this out of the building, out of the complex.
So the biggest thing I'm looking for, if I can find out anything else along, because what you gave me is like freaking awesome. But is there anything in there, a protocol, a delay, a dead man switch for it? Is there a abort?
There is probably an abort code, but it does not actually give you the protocols for the abort code.
Okay.
You can see where there is an abort command, probably keyed in, but again, you're just looking at the schematics. There's clearly some cutoff relays, and they look like they're manual access.
All right. I share all that information with my comrades, let them know what, let, Spencer know that it is, what the old guy told you is real. And, see if we can find a way to access those elevators. I'm going to go to Bear.
The other thing about the thing about the cutoff relays is they are not in that tower. All the cutoff relays appear to be in Tower 1.
All right, I'll get that information. Like I said, I'll let everybody know that information. I don't know, Bear, I don't know if you have any stealth-like skills, but might be your job just to get over there and play babysitter on those cutoff relays if at all possible.
Yeah, once we'll land down, because we haven't, did we get to park in the facility yet?
Yeah.
We did? I thought this was all the pre-planned phase.
It is the pre-planning, but if we want to jump to, like I said, if you're ready to jump into things, we can jump in, and it's just a player intrusion to back out the planning.
Yeah, I think we should back out the planning and let's start, and then.
I'm just trying to I wouldn't overthink this too much.
if people are still planning in Viper's presence, he's just basically like, yo, I'm ready to party.
Yeah, we can move to the party scene now. I was saying that as a segue, that once we get there, maybe it might be a good idea for Bear, since he can park, we got everything set up. It might be a good idea to let him know just in case.
Yeah, I'm assuming if your guys want, because I'm the help, so I can actually go off and do whatever side stuff you guys need. But let's get into the actual party itself.
Right.
Okay. All right. So it is the night of the party, and things start to rock and roll as we hit the ground running. We've got Viper kind of like strolling in, like, yeah, I'm here to, and streaming to your crowd of onlookers, your chat window is just going down. We kind of see the chat stream in your side view. We've got the very big Bear kind of like walking almost like a cross between security and assistant, and
like
then,
handler or whatever for like those big
handler. And then there's the your mouthpiece, your agent go-to, and he's, we see Spencer shaking hands, greeting people. Things are clearly moving in the right direction, and kind of moving alongside you, like, I cannot believe I'm here having to watch my brother. Carefully watching the crowd, like, yet one more member of security is Sawyer. So
do we have like voice comm that we could talk to each other?
absolutely.
So yeah, I'm gonna go do what Dean told me to do. I'm gonna go try to investigate the relays while these guys try to figure out a way to get to the safe.
All right. So the cutoffs are in a completely different facility, basically. It's like crossing town to get there and then getting into another building.
Also, can I take my bike there?
You could, in theory, get on the elevator and then grab your bike and zip through the hallways.
Do we
he told you you've got the backstage. You could move through the backstage and get over there, but you're gonna be probably 30-40 minutes from the rest of the group.
But we do need these cutoffs, right?
They would stop the explosions from going off if they set off the bombs.
So what do you think? You think I should
Why don't you stay put and we'll adjust on the fly?
all right.
Ideally, you don't get caught. Nobody sets off bombs.
Right.
I would definitely be making my way to the main party area, wherever that is, in whatever club or whatever have you. And I know these guys have plans they want to enact or whatever have you. So out loud, like, just for, I guess, show, I'm like, hey guys, go enjoy yourselves. Like, you don't have to babysit me the whole time. I'm like waving them off. I got a crowd to entertain. And
Sawyer, you say go. When we're ready.
I would essentially be, or what I would want to do is cause such a big show in the main area that it's distracting to the staff, to everyone wants to see what's going on because it's loud.
Okay. You basically start making a scene
in the party, at the party.
Okay.
Like, it's like, think about when you go to like a rave or something and you see like like the high rope people, like they're just dangling above the crowd or whatever, dancing to the, similar to that, just with my robotic skill or whatever have you, my implant, they allowed me to like run up walls and do all this sort of like crazy maneuvers in the air, and essentially I'm just doing aerial acrobatics to entertain / distract like as
Okay.
boisterously as I can. Like, and again, we could even, depending on how big this area is, maybe I have small fireworks that go off. Still, OS dollar sign, OS dollar sign. um, but again, much smaller
leftover
ones.
from the commercial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely be doing something of that nature to let these guys, potentially do what they want to do unbothered.
Okay. So you make a scene.
Yes.
In
Question is the vault, what did we find out about the security protocols that leading to the vault itself?
So if you make your way to the vault itself, that they're in that vicinity, there are security drones that patrol, like little walker drones, resembling spiders. And then there are a few human patrols that operate in the same area, usually in not in, but like overlapping patterns with the robot drones. And again, it's at that point it's like moving through hallways in a complex, not so much like being on the street. So
And the badges that we have, would they fool the drones?
they would not, because you would be in an area that is higher security than the place where the level you could get your badges to.
Oh, so those clone badges, even though they're security badges, those guys aren't allowed to do those type of
Right.
okay.
Basically, at this point, it would be stealth and maneuvering against their patterns. So you basically just kind of need to sneak. Unless you've got another plan. Like if you were to say clone new badges off the guys who are up here.
Isn't you and Al the sneaky type?
Al especially, I have a way to become sneaky.
Depending on how long my little show takes, I would definitely, break off and find out what they're up to, and if they need me to sneak somewhere. Hopefully,
You guys
my little
pretty
show
much can like, you make a big show of things, you get a lot of attention. Some other like famous people show up, and it makes it a good opportunity for you all to kind of like bleed off and vanish.
So we need to find one of these elevators, right? And then go from there.
And yeah, these are actually fast descent elevators, but you could probably rewire one to go up. Because they are intended to basically be emergency escape vehicles in case of, disaster. You can get into it and whew, down the building.
So what? Do we need to grab a couple badges or?
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to disable at least one guard in order.
Real quick, can we say, since I should still have one, I do have 2 XP, with a player intrusion as we were leaving the party, and this kind of fits in with my stealth, whatever have you, being sneaky. As we're leaving the party, again, I attracted the attention of a lot of the staff and whatnot, so there's some high-level security guards there, and I swipe 1 or 2 badges on the way out with a player intrusion.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a stealth check real quick.
Okay, all right, let me spend the 1 XP, and let me look at my sheet real fast. I'm trained in stealth. That's about it. I'm not gonna use any effort or anything like that. But let me roll. So just 1 drop. I rolled an 18 on the dice, so 21 altogether.
Okay, so You snag a couple of those. It is enough that you managed to get one, but it is enough that with a couple of minutes, you're pretty certain your brother could re-hack the two that you've got and basically clone them into being equal security clearance.
Gotcha. So I definitely, after leaving the party, I hand them over. If I hear them discussing, oh, we don't have the proper clearance and whatnot, like guys, what do you think I'm here for? And I'll go into my like.
So you went for
pocket.
you now have clearance black badges.
Do I need to make a roll to hack them?
Yes, you do. You have the potential, I should say, for clearance black badges.
All right, so I'm gonna take the same, since I got those XP back, I'm gonna spend them this time. Let's see. I rolled a 2, so I'm gonna spend this XP to roll this. 19.
Okay. So you spent your XP. You now have 3 clearance black ID cards, which is enough to get you probably past the security, and certainly, even though you don't have the 4th one, you could probably ghost a guest buy on the authority of 3 of them.
Okay.
I mean, we have two choices.
Since you've got somebody who's sort of a VIP present.
You're my chum, man.
The Jumba.
My chumba.
Or we could say, instead of escorting me about, right? Since we already left the party, people were not distracted but occupied with this new celebrities that showed up. Them 3 with their new clearance, they can go wherever they need to go, and I could, I get out of my performing attire, go to the bathroom, I take off. I have a shirt that's just like this on with like some very bright goggles. I go and switch into black goggles and a black shirt or whatever have you in the bathroom. I put on a cap. And I can stealth, since we know we have the map or whatever have you, I could stealth into the vault area while they get whatever else prepared.
Okay.
On their end. I posture that to the group if need. I'm like, guys, you guys you have the clearance, you can get back wherever you need to go. I'm gonna go get ready to snag the thing, and I guess I take the replacement with me too, just in case it has to be a solo operation. But I take the extra one with me, and I say, guys, you get the security lockdown, whatever have you, to make it so that we can get out of here. But I'm gonna go stake out the vault and see what we're dealing with.
And the vault is 6 floors from the roof, right? So I'm gonna try to pre-plan the route between the quickest way from the 6th floor back to the roof so we could get out of here.
Okay.
That's the question, guys. Are we gonna go to the roof once we get this thing, or are we gonna go back to the party and go right out of just walk out and get into our vehicle? Which way do you think is best?
If you want, I could go to the vehicle now and try to get to the roof, so you guys could run and do it, and then going through the party might be more of an issue for us.
But
how big was this? Was this thing pretty big? Are we able to like disguise it?
We got ours. I got the fake one.
Oh yeah, so you already have that one. So you just
I got the fake one. So and we're gonna give it to Viper. My thought process would be, though, if something does happen and we've disappeared, then we're likely suspects, maybe. That's the only thing I was thinking about, getting back, coming, so we're
it might be have a real real exit down low.
As a matter of fact, we could make the party end. You know that, right?
Are you talking to me?
But shouldn't we secure this?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, let's go get the thing.
What we're gonna do, what I think we should do is secure the device. I got a pleasant little ability here. I'll pick up a few things along the way.
Yeah, but don't tell Andrew what we're gonna do until we get to the device.
Well, I gotta tell Andrew in one respect what we're doing. but you know what I'm doing. Andrew, I'm looking for at the party. I need some alcohol and I need some plastic and so on and so forth because I need to make an impromptu explosive device.
Okay. All right. So you can find all the things that you need to make an impromptu explosive device. However, you haven't built it yet.
Right.
So you find all the components. What kind of explosive device are we talking? Is it a time device? Is it a phone detonated? You know, like a
I want a remote detonated device. So basically, once we get what we need and we make it back down to the party, I can set it off. I don't want it to do any major damage. I literally wanted to just cause, you know, a
Panic.
Yeah, cause a panic. You know.
So
they basically will start ushering everybody out. Everybody to your vehicles. The party's over. That type.
So let's say this. It's not so much an explosive device as it's going to look like a you take one of the fireworks that your brother was using, and it's going to look like one of those never went off, and it just went like off to the side and is sitting there, and you can set it off via remote, and when it goes off, it sets off the unfortunately placed pool of highly combustible moonshine alcohol
and the chocolate fountain.
And the chocolate fountain. And it basically sets a section of the wall on fire. But it's not one that's like a structurally important wall. It should be able to be put out pretty easily. It's just one that's going to create a lot of smoke and panic.
There we go. Sounds good. That's exactly what I want to do. So
Okay.
I'm gonna set that up while they start moving towards the vault, and I'll make my way up there behind him because by the time he gets past this stealthy stuff that we need to, he should be able to have a path for me to get there to help him with the door.
Okay. So all right, so you set up the explosives and then you guys head out into the hallway to make your way to where the vault is. Doing the subtle, stealthy route for Viper. So Viper, you are sneaking out ahead of everybody else. Is that correct? Am I got this plan right?
Yep. And what you call it earlier when Dean, or I guess Sawyer mentioned us being potential like suspects or something like that. Well, as soon as he mentioned that, I said, "Don't worry, I got it covered." And on my sim stream, I upload a video and make it seem like a live video, like it's actually happening, of some pre-recorded mayhem I had done with Sawyer or something. So people think we're out doing something at the moment. We're kind of under the radar in that sense. But either way, though, yeah, I would be sneaking ahead of time.
So yeah, you had some mayhem that you planned. We couldn't do that during the your planning phase. You did like some big thing. You're like, yeah, we're gonna sneak away from the party, and you like shoot it so it looks like you're on top of a building somewhere, and you're like, we're gonna sneak away from this party because it's lame, and we're gonna go off and do this thing, and and you create your own alibi.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're uploading and playing past experiences.
I've got a player intrusion real quick.
Sure.
When it's me, I want to say that I had Sawyer put some of Eva's hair that I had laying around inside of that device.
Okay. Absolutely.
Payback.
Amazing. But then, yeah, I would be stealthing. Once I make sure the video is playing properly, I would stealth ahead of these guys to the vault to make sure there's nothing crazy going on or anything we need to be aware of or anything like that.
Okay. So you sneak up. Everything's going super smooth. You've got your stream running in the background. You get to the vault. While you're doing your sneak up, Bear, you're firing up the. Are you planning on flying up and catching them on the roof, or are you gonna just wait for them to show up?
That was the plan. Do you want, I don't know if Dean wanted me to wait at the party or wait on the roof, go to the roof, because I know.
Well, my thought process was the roof should be our secondary outlet if it doesn't work out, because the plan is to make the party shut down and everybody is rushing out. So yeah, you can come to the roof and we'll all go to the roof and meet you on the roof. And then that way people are rushing out, so it won't be odd that we're not there.
All right,
Well, not
so
only
I'm
that,
gonna
you've built an alibi too. So
Right. But we built an
so
alibi.
I'm actually gonna wait by the purple rain, and when the explosion happens, then I'll take off for the roof.
Exactly. That works. That's
Okay.
exactly how we do it, because I figure once we hit the vault, you know, once we're on our way out the vault, I'm gonna set the explosion off, you know, to cause
Yeah,
a
so I
distraction.
won't take off until after the explosion, because then it looks like I'm just trying to escape the explosion.
okay, so you're like hanging out like you're the pilot and
Yeah.
just doing your pre-flight checks and kind of just doing what drivers tend to do. And would you like an intrusion?
Sure. I'll give my XP to Mike.
All right. So you're like, all right, and you see this lighter flick about 10 feet from you. It flicks again. This guy walks up, shaking a lighter, cigarette in his hand. Buddy, you got a light? He's got a security guard's uniform on.
I go, yeah, I should. And I like dig into my like vest area and I flip like one of those like Zippos.
It's like, thanks. Oh, thanks, man.
Oh,
That's
you needed that,
fantastic.
huh?
Man, it has been a 12-hour shift and I have not had a smoke break since I got here. He looks at your vehicle. He's like, man, I love it. That is badass.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
What corp you work for?
I work here, Osprey Vanguard. He's like, puts his cigarette in his mouth and lets it kind of hang there as he kind of like, he starts walking around. He's like, your detail guy did a really bang up job. Love the colors, man. These are just, And as he gets kind of around to the back of it, he comes up, he stops and he backs up. And you notice that he stopped at the back and he's like picking at part of the paint that must have gotten scratched sometime recently, which that steams you.
Yeah, I go, hey, look, you can look, but don't touch, man. Come on, you know.
And you see him like kind of like pulls away at some of the scratching, and pretty good sized chunk of paint comes away. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry, but and he stops. And you can see what he's actually revealed down there is part of the original serial number where you couldn't quite get it scraped all the way off the outside. And he's clearly, like seeing that serial number and recognizing it as an actual Osprey Vanguard flyer.
Can I like jump in front of him and be like, hey, this is a rental? and you know, I have to bring this back in the same shape I got it.
So you like,
Yeah, I'm trying to like lie and deceive.
all right. So go ahead and give me a lion deception type roll.
I don't have anything, but I do
Well,
have intellect.
this is what you're trying.
Yeah. So I'm apply 2 levels of effort, and I have an edge.
Okay.
I'll reduce 3 from my pool.
All right. And because he is out here on a long day and frustrated and worn out, it won't be terribly difficult. But he is alerted
Actually, I'm
and
gonna apply 3
suspicious.
levels of effort, and I'm gonna use my is that what's the one that I could use intellect for any I mean, I could use might. Forgot what that ability is called. I saw it earlier. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use. No, that's for speed defense. I'm gonna apply 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
All right, I got a 14 on the roll with 2 levels of effort.
Okay. So you like Torrental, man. You just don't, you know, and you're like getting in his way and you know trying to like block him from picking any more paint off. And he's like, "Whoa, dude, it's all good. It's all good. Sorry." And he hands you the chunk of paint back.
I try to act like I'm gonna try to repatch it back. Oh, thanks, man. You trying to get me fired?
No, I would never try to get you fired. Give me a light. I'm sorry. And he like backs away from you, and kind of, you know, hangs his head a little sheepishly and starts to wander away.
As soon as I see him out of earsight, I'm gonna say on the comm, like, hurry the F up, guys. This might be we might be marked.
All right. So with that, we cut back to the other two. As you guys are coming around a bend, a security drone walks towards you, and you get to test your gear. This thing kind of comes up to you, and it looks a bit like a dog with kind of like spidery, pointed legs. It's kind of it's definitely canine in appearance, but it's got weird, you know, kind of that like weird gait. If you've seen the robot dogs that,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like that robot dog from MIT if it had been built by Honda. If you've seen the Honda robot, so it's like all white, and you know, it kind of does its little walk up with these, smooth white panels, and a little light appears on its chest and over its head, and a voice not unlike Siri says, "Security clearance."
Put the badge in its face.
Ding! And the little light goes green. Mike, you're like holding it up to it.
Yeah.
It took me a second to realize what you're doing because my screen only had you this big, and I was like, so
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
you go
Hold
to
it
hold up to it. Go ahead and I've got another intrusion.
I am a fool for intrusions.
So you hold it up, and it goes, "Nah, nah," and it
Who
goes
gets
red.
the other XP?
I'll give it to you for making a crappy badge. You needed it. I just start looking around.
Can I,
Dispatch protocol.
Oh no, you don't need to do that. I know people.
So you're like, You're like, I know people, and you're like holding it over it, and you're tapping at it.
Can I take the badge real quick and like look at it and like, make a quick adjustment with since I have the data jacks in my cyber hand.
Sure.
And I'll make a quick adjustment, and whatever the protocol is to say to the thing, one moment, it's badge dirty for and clean it off, do the clean off thing.
Right. You're like cleaning
like
protocol.
rub it on your shirt.
Yeah. And now I'll make a roll for it. 15 on the die.
So you like rub it once, do your couple of little, and you hold it over it, and it stays yellow for a little bit. And then it finally goes green, like it was trying to read it. Read. It goes green. At which point the heretofore almost unnoticed panels on the side of the dog snap shut, and the two needler pistols, the two needler arrays tuck back into the dog's sides.
Thanks, Chew.
Jeez.
And he
Are there
trots
any-
off.
Are there any ports on that dog?
Not visible ones, but there probably are some that you could get to.
No, I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I was just thinking there was something on its head. I pat it on his head and try to hack it.
You could probably still try something like that. You'd have to give me it would just count it as part of the hacking roll, because you'd basically just have to access its ports, but because
Right,
it's
you know
probably
what?
just concealed under a panel, and the panels are just, there's lots of little panels on it.
You know what? I'm gonna go for it. And then after this, however it works out, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 levels of effort on this.
Okay.
And I will then may have to make a recovery roll because my intellect will be pretty low then. All right, come on, dice, be nice. 17.
All right. Yeah. You like reach up and kind of like pet its head like you would if a dog, and pop back the panel on the back of the neck, and that reveals a easy access port.
All right, I'm gonna hack it. I want to hack it to basically now it's our guard dog,
Okay.
and I'm going to leave a digital footprint of the jerk off that's been targeting my brother. The guy that he ran afoul of. I want to leave something very, very subtle, very underlying, because I don't like people threat. Even though my brother is a overzealous wild man, he still doesn't deserve.
This would be one of those things that I would say that this is going to be a short-term benefit to get this companion. So if you want to spend an XP to gain a short-term companion, I'm good with that.
You know what? Why not? I'll use. That's a good use of that XP.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you basically finagle the dog, and he becomes your sidekick for the next several hours.
Works. That's what we're doing.
So you now have a level 3 robot companion.
And I'm gonna call him Rex.
Come on, Rex. Come on. Here, boy.
Let's go.
All
Matter
right,
of fact,
so-
I'm gonna have him lead the way, taking us past all the security measures.
Okay.
That's our escort.
So he escorts you past a bunch of security measures. So that brings us back to Viper. Viper, you have snuck past a bunch of things, several guards. You've made your way to basically the area where the vault is. You can see it. It's basically in a clean room. You come to it, it's this octagonal shaped glass-sided room. In the center of it is what looks to be a 8-foot tall cube of steel with one of those giant armature cranks on the front and a fist-sized tumbler control. Most odd is the fact that gold inlay on the floor appears to be laid out like a sundial with, instead of numbers, almost more like the moon phases, but with clear sun rays coming off of them. So it's like, the hours of the day. So on the bright end, the end kind of facing you, you see all these suns, and then as it goes around the other side, it turns to moons. And it looks like they're set up in such a way that they seem to represent 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, all the way around the clock. And then there are what appears to be Arabic or something, Aramaic. For all you know, it could be Greek. Just, not English symbols in a spiral pattern all the way around, heading towards the safe. Clearly lots and lots of words.
I definitely can't read any of it, right?
No, but you can certainly record a bunch of it.
Oh, I would definitely do that for sure. I'm definitely recording internally, not streaming it, of course. My fake stream is still going.
Right, the fake stream is still going.
But I would record this. I would patch it up, upload it if I can to show my, my comrades. I'm positive I have some internal measures to upload or
Right.
something like that. And then I would just, I'm not the brightest guy, so this is all looks foreign to me. So I don't know what that is, but I would then walk up to the safe and see, check the tumblers.
So you're actually outside the glass room. This is all visible to you, but you're not in there yet.
Gotcha.
What
I would
you
try to walk in
kind
if I could.
the door is actually locked.
Is it a mechanical door, digital door, or?
It looks like it's a digital door. It has a good sized lock on it. All the glass around the outside here is clearly bulletproof weight. But the ceiling isn't that high up inside that room. It actually, as you kind of look at it, there is a bit of a shelf that you could actually hop up onto and head over the room, presumably. But how you would get in, you can't tell from here.
Is it like a vent or something that I if I go into it,
No,
I would be above the room?
So your outside wall, if you were to be facing it, the outside wall behind you, and it goes around this area, goes up, say, 15 feet, and the glass wall, only goes up about 10 feet. So there's this 5-foot gap on one side that has a top to it. You can see that the room has a lower ceiling than the room out here.
Gotcha. Then if I can jump up top, I feel like that would be pretty easy for me to do, considering I have all this, running, climbing, parkour stuff. But I would try to get on top and see if there's an access path or maintenance hatch that can someone open through instead of using the front door to get into this glass room.
All right, so you want to hop up onto the top of the
basically
room and see what you can see.
I wall jump off of the two walls until I'm on the top, basically with parkour.
So that's something you can do easily. Boom, 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 and you're on top. It's not quite mundane for you, but it's close enough. So you're kind of on top taking a look around. You can see that there are some vent accesses, but they look like they're welded shut from up here. And there's definitely like an exhaust fan rigged up. And you can see several tanks poised to flood that room with something.
Boy, I would tell.
And about,
oh, good.
and I was going to say, and about this point, the other two come into view. First thing you see though is this sentry dog head into the hallway. You are fortunately out of its line of sight, but it's like clearly looking for breaks in security.
I
And you're
definitely would
like-
say over the comms to them, it's like, did you guys mention this dog thing over the comms to
No,
I crouched out immediately as soon as seeing the dog, like try to get as obscured as I can, even though I know I'm like way above it. And I say, guys, I got a drone on me. And then I see them come in like a couple seconds after it.
Hide, hide.
And then, thanks for the heads up. But it looks like our room here with the vault, it's wired to, something's gonna go into some kind of gas or something's gonna go in there if we trip some kind of security measure. So we got to be extra careful here. And I'm still like ducked down trying to not be
When
seen
he
by the
mentions
dog.
that, do I remember any of this from the schematics that when we figured out the explosives and stuff? Was anything like this listed? Or?
This room does not appear on the schematics at all.
Gotcha.
I say if you can, especially as directed to Sawyer, if you can disable the vent systems, or I'm assuming there's some kind of air conditioner or something, maybe I could sneak into the vent and break into the room. But the front door is locked and it looks pretty secure.
With the dog asset, with the dog sentry, can he get us through that door?
No, the door seems to be, this all appears to be an unexpected wrinkle. Everybody in the group can get an XP for the unavoidable intrusion,
Okay.
because every heist has that moment where you go, shit,
All right.
something's not what we expected.
How are you at holding your breath?
What I'm going to do before we do all of that, I'm going to try to run a diagnostic and see exactly what we're dealing with. So I will. I rolled. Oh, just so you know, I rolled my D6 plus 5. I got 8 points back. 9 points back. So I'm back up to 14 in intellect,
Okay.
and I will spend a level of effort plus with my computers being specialized. That's 3 levels. So I'll tell you what 15 on the die, so 24 total.
Okay. So running your diagnostics on it, there is definitely a security protocol in place that will do something with gas. It looks like it probably floods it with halon, which basically would replace it all the oxygen with halon
Mhm.
and suffocate any fires or any other humans that were to break in. The other gas appears to be a mildly corrosive chemical, which would probably break down and cause a lot of electronics to fail if they were exposed to it, which would suitably, unless it was a robot that was, an AI that was completely environmentally sealed, it would probably shut those down as well. So like your little puppy friend wouldn't make it very far.
Gotcha.
It would probably also wreak havoc on your cyber arm.
Yeah, I figured as much. So first thing I want to do then is, I'll use my tinkering talent. It
Okay.
says you make a device do something differently than it was originally purposed for.
Okay.
So that security system,
Mm-hmm.
I want to repurpose it to
Okay.
help us get through the vault door.
Okay.
In other words, I want to mildly corrosive.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to basically, spray on the door and
Okay.
the vault door and mess up its internals. That's kind of the idea behind what I want to do. And as far as the halon is concerned, yeah, we'll just disable that completely.
Okay.
So, and I will use my best tool, Cypher, which is a level 6 Cypher, to basically assist in me having what I need in order to
Pull off this tinkering.
pull off this craziness.
Okay.
2 levels of effort will be spent on it as well. So here we go. 17 on a die.
Okay. So you direct the spray from the one canister, and you turn off the spray from the other, and adjusting the angle and the pressure on it, you find that you can actually make that corrosive spray down into a line as opposed to being a mist that affects things finely. And you can basically just target the lock on the front of it.
That's what I do.
Go ahead and do me a favor. Well, you've already done that. So we'll go ahead and it like starts to slag the front lock on it. And definitely gets the door to a point where you hear pop, 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 ting inside the door. And then it kind of drifts open a little bit.
Oh, all right, little brother, do your thing. Or should I say big brother?
If the door's propped open, then I definitely would. And this is the front door that opened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely come back down. Will the robot dog like scan me as a threat?
Oh,
Because I want to avoid it.
I go, meet our new buddy. That's Rex.
And Rex goes,
I look at it funny, make sure it doesn't flash red or like it's signaling me, and I walk by. I kind of sidestep it a little nervously, and then I go into the room to check out
the little white panel on its head makes a question mark.
But yeah,
I'll pat him on his head and tell him that give him his biometrics.
So you skitter across the top of this area towards the venting area. You drop down, and the door is open in front of you.
So I would definitely go in and try to get to the vault.
Okay. When you go in there and you walk into the vault itself, would you like the last intrusion of the night?
Yeah, I'll take it for sure.
Okay.
I'll
walk
give my other
in.
XP to Sawyer because again he's the guy who gets me out of trouble.
All right. So you walk into the vault, and there's this like static in your brain. You hear this noise that seems to be coming from everywhere all at once, bypassing your ears, going straight into your brain, echoing down, and it feeds out into your stream, even into it like seems to almost like mingle with the artificial stream that you're running simultaneously.
Oh, boy.
And for a moment you are ripped back to that moment, and you start experiencing all the craziness that you were doing before overlaid with this, and you're apparently like mid-flying jump, and like the whole room starts to like spin as you are, you know, like mid-jump, mid-fly, and you've kind of got, it's like being in the middle of watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and you know Peter's going through New York with MJ to his back. You're currently MJ.
So,
And
yeah.
you're attached to your own brain, having that sort of moment. Like you're not in control of your own body, and you find yourself like knocked to the floor. And you're certain, even though you don't, you can't quite make it out, something shadowy, like standing over you that's not part of that vision. Almost like it's, you know, inside the device on the pedestal at the center of the safe. You can see it, and it's like staring at you. It's just this shadow figure, like feeding directly into your brain. You're not certain where this thing comes from, what it is, but it's like creating static. And the longer you look at it, and you like start to like orient yourself, the more it stops looking like shadow, and the more it looks like crackling static on an old TV, until it just kind of vanishes. And that whole sensation of weirdness leaves you, but it leaves you shaken. You take 4 points of intellect damage, and I need you to make an intellect test.
Okie dokie. I don't have any.
This would be
training or anything
mental
with that.
defense.
Yeah, I don't have anything for that. And I'm not going to use any effort because my int's already low, so I'm just going to go for it. I rolled a 10.
Okay, so go ahead and take another 4 points of intellect damage.
Oof.
As you finally get yourself settled. You are probably for the first time in a long time kind of creeped out. I mean, it's like, you know, somebody who has fear of heights, being exposed to a high place, you kind of have the shakes afterwards. You kind of have the shakes as you come out of this safe with the thing in your hand, and it is eerie.
He switched him out then. He was able to switch him out. Okay.
He's able to switch him out.
And I come back out shaking like.
You good, man?
Just incoherent babbling, basically, is what you hear.
I'm gonna use.
Pass it over.
What is it? I got this ability here. Where is it at? Basically, it's the thinking ahead ability. Basically, I produce a remedy that removes negative conditions because I previously spent considerable time thinking ahead and preparing for current situations. For instance, you know, another person's poison produce an antidote. So I want to use
Fair
that.
enough. You actually can diagnose probably what happened here. It looks like when he went into that safe, something created an electronic feedback, and he probably triggered his, you know, he got stuck between his current reality and his streamed reality. And it has probably thrown off his equilibrium and his sense of time and location. And you think you've got something that will help patch that up. Just a little bit of, you know, epinephrine and, you know, just the right medications, and you think you can get him on a balance.
Okay.
You've been waiting for a day when this hardware in his head burned him up.
Okay. And the other thing to you know, just I'll give up an XP point for pre-planning, because the whole point is, the idea was that we don't want them to know that we took this thing. So was there money or something in that vault as well?
There is.
So that's the thing that's going to be taken, the money. We want the box to look completely undisturbed.
Like,
You know, so
we don't know what the boxes, but we want these gold bars.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a case of gold bars in there. We'll
So
do
that's
that.
that's what we take as well, have him take as well, is the money, so we can leave the box, with the burnout item in there. Maybe it looks like now when they see the burnout on it or whatever, they think it was because that thing was set off, that feedback thing was set off. So,
Okay.
So I don't know if he gets any points back for that.
He does 4 points of intellect back.
So, and we got it. It's time to start heading out. I'm gonna set the explosive off, and we're headed up.
All right. So things start to catch fire down in the party room. We can see the party. It completely comes to an end with some screaming and people rushing out to the hangar bay. You see a bunch of people where you are there, Anthony, rushing into the hangar bay. Not nearly as many people that was at the party, but a bunch of people do.
Can I spend an XP for a player intrusion?
Sure.
Can I have my bike be remote controlled, like so it could shoot out? I want to send my bike out to them to make them, like, hopefully they'll be able to get on it and get to me quicker.
Okay. It would probably only really help one of them get there faster. But at the same time, you could send it up there so that they could, whoever's got the device could race back first.
Couldn't two people ride on it and just a third person,
well, yeah. One could ride on it comfortably. Two could ride on it, tandem style. Three would not really work, but two would work.
Well, I'm thinking, the two of us could get on it, and since Crazy Man likes to jump off of buildings anyway.
I think you two should just go. I can make my way out. I can always do it.
You sure?
Yeah, go for it, because he's messed up. He needs some help.
Well, we did hook him up. Okay.
And given the time of night, we're gonna make this go a little bit smoother than I normally would, just to kind of wrap these up. I would normally throw one more horrible complication at you, but like in any convention game, our time together is coming to a close. So, tell me exactly how it is that you execute this departure, and who's doing what. Go ahead and take this moment to shine, because you guys have got the goods. And
So
you can narrate any complications in that you want to work your way around.
Well, my thought process would be, since he's a little out of his gourd there, we get the bike to come up and you get on the back. We're gonna ride this thing down. Spence, you said you can make your way out. While he's doing that, since Anthony said the thing is remote controlled, the bike is remote controlled, I'm gonna let Anthony, of course, fly us back in. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I want to hack into this thing. I want all the goods on the device. I'm not gonna do anything to change anything inside of it. I just want the information.
Okay. Oh man, now I wish we were playing a sequel. So you guys make your way back. Mike, how are you making your way back then?
I'm going to just tell them, meet me at a certain street corner. I'm going to go to one of the express elevators they said that would go down really fast.
Okay. All right, so you grab one of those and to the ground.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a might roll.
Oh, well, if I think I have to be tough, I take out this drink and I rip it off and I drink it. It's my Cypher. It's my experimental energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put in 2 levels of effort because I want to make sure since it's the end of the night.
Okay. So you down that sucker because you're like, you're like,
Whatever I got to do. So here we go. So that will lower. I'll be able to lower it 2.
okay.
Let me see what we're doing.
And that'll actually make it enough that you don't actually have to make the actual roll.
Oh, okay.
And you just track that open, you down it, and you write it down like, whoa. Yeah, the might rolls to see if you threw up at the bottom.
Anthony, how are you going to handle
I figure I'll narrate last because I'm the one piloting us out, so I'll let Al go.
Now I'm basically just not barely conscious, but I'm operational, but I'm not super all there still, like so I'm like just basically draped over Sawyer on the back of this motorcycle as we rush over to where Bear is.
All right, so I picture as the explosion goes off in the middle of the party and everyone is starting to scramble, running in different directions. And you see people in well-dressed clothes, half on fire, stop, dropping, and rolling. I'm standing, I open up the bay doors. People immediately see that the bay doors are open. They try to bum rush me. I pull up my coat, pull out my saw-off shotgun, kick the first person out the way as he falls off the top of the roof. And then at that very moment, I hit my headset and the motorcycle crashes into the Purple Rain. I slide in, dive into the front seat of the vehicle, immediately shut the doors, and I go, hold on tight, we getting the fuck out of here. As I back up, I back into the security guard that that chipped the paint, and he falls off. He goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry," as his body slowly falls off the edge of the building as well. And I do immediately like a quick turn, and I hit, like you see a part of the facade of the building as I turn so quickly, and I hit as it falls. And then I let the entire I let Purple Rain drop, so it almost looks like we're falling. And then you hear the engines kick on as we blast off.
All right, so you and you're up to the roof, and on your way out. So you guys are all in there, and we cut to the back. We see Dean's character. He's plugging into this thing while your guys are in the back, and he's like trying to hack it and doing his thing. And he's there's codes upon codes, and you can see how they must calculate them and what's going on. It's like opening up whole worlds of mathematics, just layered out in front of you. And you hear this like almost AI voice in the back of your head say, "You want to know a secret?" And we cut away. And then we cut back after the credits roll. We cut back for one post-credit scene, and it's Sawyer lying in bed, and we hear that same voice echoing back, "Want to know a secret?" And Sawyer opens his eyes, and they just like ink over black.
Nice.
End credits. Things done. Thank you guys. This was awesome. I had a really good time playing with you.
Thank you. That was great.
That was awesome. Pretty
That
cool.
was a lot of fun, yeah.
So the not so subtle secret about Blood and Chrome is that we are going to layer in a certain amount of shadowy occult into the actual setting when we do the setting material, because one of the fun things about Cypher is taking things that shouldn't go together and bringing them together. And so you guys kind of get the first taste of some of those occult elements there at the end. There's something
Okay.
funky with that device. Something not natural is in the software.
Well, if you want to come back and do a part 2,
we can talk about that at some point. But yeah, it's predominantly cyberpunk. It is going to be heavy cyberpunk. But we are going to be doing some like telepathy, ESP, hauntings, things of that nature. They're not horribly out of line for science fiction when you think of things like ghost hunters.
right?
We're just taking it up a notch, taking it to another step, another place, and seeing where that takes us.
These are great
yeah.
characters too. I'm very, very impressed. A lot of great work there, Andrew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These
I
were all
almost-
characters.
I said I almost felt bad because we didn't get a lot of time to actually. There's some really cool abilities and stuff that you added into the Cypher system that we really didn't get to utilize or really highlight. So yeah,
It's a tight time window,
yeah.
and there are a lot of things that we could have done differently. I had no idea what you guys were going to do, so my notes for this adventure were very built around the idea of, here are all these things that these characters can do. These are all the different possible ways we could go, but I'm not picking one. So I didn't expect everything to get showcased. I'm just glad you guys got the chance to play around with it. I got to see what you guys had in store for me. I did not foresee 90% of what you did.
But if you do want to see what these cool abilities are, you can go to Drive. I was trying to leeway into a plug.
Oh, right, because I'm dumb.
You can go to Drive Through RPG and pick up these wonderful supplements and see what I was talking about. Because a lot of the stuff is currently on Drive Through RPG. Blood and Chrome by Marlowe House is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, you can see some of the abilities that we didn't get to use, but trust me when I tell you, they're freaking awesome.
I had no argument there, because I don't know if my character, the Technophile, I don't know if you made them to be kind of like explorers, because I got like a dual nature. Not only am I techie, but because of the way the character is built, he does have some offensive capability.
Yep.
Physical offensive capability, kind of, in the line of.
So Technophiles are fun. Technophiles and Scions are the two that I have in the types book, and they are both designed to sit in the wheelhouse of the adept. Now, the reason why your character is a bit more on the tough side is I picked the ability for your silver arm. Has a silver arm that does some combat stuff. There is some combat adjacent stuff, because Technophiles are your jury rig hackers and builders and med techs. They cover a kind of a broad spectrum of abilities, as needing to cover the jury rig aspect of it. We have some things where they've got some cybernetics built into their chain, and some of their cybernetics kind of do things that might be more combat oriented, but they're not combat monsters.
Yeah, no, I didn't see him as a monster, but
No. But I mean, they can hold their own, and it's kind of what I'm getting at. They're not meant to like take up the space that we had for razors or warriors, because when I originally released it, we would have been using the regular types. They weren't meant to take up the space that warriors take up, or the space that explorers take up. They kind of take up their own niche. They're a little bit more explorer-y than a full adept, but they're not a full explorer either. They kind of, I think they take up their own very unique space in the the layout. We spent a lot of time figuring out which abilities without making it so that you would be always a med tech, always tech. We wanted to do something that was a lot more that bridged a little bit more gaps that still fit into that whole technophile profile of we love tech and we'll embrace most of it. The show Biohackers was a huge inspiration for him, as well as Walter from Fringe.
Sweet.
It was absolutely awesome. And once again, please check out Blood and Chrome on Drive Through RPG. It's currently, there's several, you have what, 3 supplements out already?
3 supplements now. We will have news this summer because we're working on something big. I can't talk about it yet because I don't have all my people in line, but let's just say that we're currently at work on a project that will be very exciting. I'm already writing parts of it, which is where a lot of the character abilities that are on these characters came from. And I'll probably be releasing some sort of preview here in the near future just to give people a taste. It may just be that I release these characters.
Nice.
If people want to reach you on the internet or find out all the cool stuff you're doing, where can you be reached on the web?
Our best place is on Facebook. To be honest, if you find me on Facebook, my name is Andrew Marlowe, not to be confused with Andrew W. Marlowe, who writes for Castle and a bunch of TV shows and movies. But you can find me on Facebook. You can follow Marlowe House on Facebook. We're really, unfortunately, not great at social media, but follow us there. We're gonna have to get better at it. So you might also be on the ground floor following us as we start to release our updates and information, because like I said, there's some big things coming.
Not only is Andrew and Monica, which consists of Marlowe House, great game designers, they're even better human beings. I absolutely love the both of them. So please go out and follow them on social media and support all the work they do, because they're really, really great people.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And once again,
And if you liked a lot of, really quick, I need to do one quick shout out. If you liked a lot of what we did here tonight, even when her name is not necessarily directly on a product, Monica is very involved in everything that we do. I don't typically have an idea that hits print that hasn't been run past her before. So she does not get enough credit for the things that I do, I don't think. We are definitely a team effort, and when possible, we try to team up and do cool things like this.
Well, absolutely, yes. I met Andrew through his wife, Monica. So that's how we all met, and he's not lying. And I just want to say thank you, Mike, for coming on the show with us tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for adding, such great elements to the game. Your input is always appreciated, and, for anybody that doesn't know it, Mike is one of the most helpful, solid, informed, and, awesome guys out there. He's on the Cypher Unlimited channel as well as Stormbringer. So just wanted to say that as well.
Mike, where can you be found and reached on the internet?
Mostly just a Discord at this point. I also have some Facebook stuff. I'm out and anything CU, you'll see me on there. So I'm a big CU guy, and yeah, don't just buy the individual stuff, buy the whole bundle. I did. I'm actually running something with it. It's great stuff. So go out and get it.
And speaking
Thank you.
If you like us and you like what we do, if you want to support Cypher Unlimited, join the Cypher Unlimited Discord server. We have the largest Vanguard Discord server for all things Monica games. We got games being talked about, games being played, all the settings, everything MCC does, we have conversations about it. So join our Discord. But if Discord is not for you, join our Facebook group. It's not as big as our Discord, but there's great conversations being had there. Or visit our online store and pick up some cool Cypher Unlimited merch like this hat I got on. You'll be the coolest kid on the block. Want to help us out in other ways? Give us a little donation on Ko-fi. Our videos are always free, but it helps us out with little things like Zoom course. And I think I got everything. If I didn't, last but not least, we love you guys.
Smash the subscribe bell.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Like, share, and subscribe to YouTube, and if not, give us a subscription or follow us here on Twitch. Either way, we greatly appreciate it. If you can't, we still love you.
Yep, that was the missing
You
one.
guys
Thank
are
you for
fantastic.
that. But yeah, thank you again, Andrew, for coming on, running us through this. Thank you again, Mike, coming on and playing with us. Always a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. So from us at the CU, we will see you later.
Deuces.